you have Puddles at school? How's she getting on? She's behaving. Yeah. Give her lots of food and water. Puddles.
Children do.
Yeah, good. That's the way to do it. And do any of them take her home at the weekend?
No.
Oh. Are they not allowed?
No.
You take her home, don't you?
Are you frightened she won't come back? Yes.
We have a bear they take home.
Oh right, so you think the bear's fucking ball. Does the bear come back?
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Very dirty. And it's, I think it's having a quick turn around from washing dishes. Unfortunately.
Okay, well, it's nice of you, but that's all, isn't it? I mean, sorry, I can't see your name together. Sorry. Joanna was Joanna was just Joanna really was a pet Puddles. Okay, well if you'd like to meet Puddles, I'll pass her around. She's very cuddly and she does love to be stroked and have a cuddle. If you don't want to cuddle her, that's absolutely fine. You can just pass her on to the next one. And that's absolutely fine, because that's what the children do. So Puddles could arrive in your class by any means, according to your imagination. She might be, she might just wander up. You might have found her when you arrived in school that morning, and she might have been meowing and looking as though she was hungry and would like to come into class and join you. That would be quite nice. She might have arrived with a little note, a little letter in a cat basket saying, please would you look after me for a while, so that you could actually, adopt her as your class pet, which would be rather nice. I'm sure the children would be delighted, and then you'd have a rota to feed her and for water. And if you dare allow her to go home at the weekends, that would be rather nice, because then she could come back and tell the rest of the children what she's been up to on the weekends. And if she just happened to go to Sunday school, or to a christening or a wedding or a church, that would be just fantastic, wouldn't it? Because she could come back and tell the children about what she had done. Or if you're going to a wedding or christening or church service, then you could take her and she could come back and tell the children how she got on. It's much better. She could go to a mosque, but she does like to go to Christian. She has a preference. Okay. And when she's not living with you, she actually lives with the Reverend Freddie Fisher. He's over here. Has anybody met the Reverend Freddie Fisher before? Bit of star in class. Okay, so this is Freddie Fisher. Does anybody know or can guess what he does as his job? Oh, well done. Okay, so he is a vicar, so we can explain what he does. He helps people learn more about God and tell stories about Jesus, so people know more about Jesus. And he works with people in the community, and he helps people. He might visit the hospital, and he might go into schools, and so we're going to tell them about what he does and what his work is. And today he's wearing his very special clothes. He doesn't always wear these clothes. He's been to a special service in the church today, and that's why he's got these special clothes on. So nice vicar, because he will actually let you take his clothes off. You probably have a little vicar who may not allow you to do that. So he does have an advantage over you, local clergy. Would anybody like to take his clothes off?
Do I stop the filming again now?
No, do in the early years. She's going to go back and tell us. Well, it's much more fun in the early years. Year 5. And Wendy's taking his clothes off. She has a huge grin on her face. He's very good at stuff. Oh, you could do more than that. You could be on Wendy.
Let's go with it.
There's more layers to go yet. everybody except Claire put their hands up. So it's a different question, a slightly different question. How many of you have local clergy that will come in short of the children at the right level? You were up there, you knew what to say. So, quite a few less. Okay. So, not only has Freddie got the advantage that you can take his clothes off, and your local clergy may not let you, but he can also talk to the children at the right level through you, of course. So we can do a bit of hot seating. So that's a really, really helpful tool to actually find out about what he might do in the church and how he might help people and his job is all about and why he does his job. So it's a really nice way of using him. Obviously, if you do have local clergy that can come in and talk at the right level with the children, that's important, then that's fantastic. And obviously, there's not going to be anything better than that. But if they are nice, friendly sorts, they probably like to have Freddie alongside anyway. So you could have two. But, obviously it is about getting the right people in. And if they can't, that's not a criticism at all. I mean, it's a skill, isn't it? We've all gone into education because we like communicating with children and presumably we're good at it. But, just because you're a vicar doesn't mean to say that you're going to be able to necessarily communicate well with children. That's not criticism. It's just as it is. The same as if you have police visitors in or nurses or anybody can come to you, not all going to be good at talking to children. So, just bear that in mind. And I do think that they can do more harm than good. Actually, if we have them in just for the sake of it because we think we should, then actually they're going to do more harm than good in terms of educating children and children wanting to know what happens in a church or chapel. They're just going to be put off. So, just a few considerations. So he's really good anyway, as a stand-in to go alongside. And then, of course, we happen to have stories about Puddles and Freddie. So by this time, once you've introduced the characters, hopefully, when you say to the children, would you like to hear a story about Puddles, then they're going to say yes, just as you are, aren't you? Would you like to hear a story about Puddles? Oh, yes, please. Okay, so it's a whole series of books about Puddles. This is Puddles Lends A Paw, so I thought we'd have a little look at this one in this session, so that we can lead us on nicely to looking at places, special places of worship, which is obviously an area that we need to explore through the RE curriculum. So, this is Puddles Lends A Paw. Alright, so let's see what happens. Puddles loved Saturday lunchtimes. On Saturdays, she always had fish. The Reverend Freddie Fisher sat at his desk. It was the Sunday service in church tomorrow. By now, he had usually decided what to talk about, but not this week. What he needed was some help. And I'm reliably informed that's quite typical that they are preparing the service the night before. Puddles finished her lunch and wandered outside. She walked through the churchyard and saw that the big arched door of the church was open. Puddles crept into the church, her little nose twitched as she smelled the polish in the air. "Hello, Puddles," said Mrs. Cooper. "Have you come to help me with the cleaning?" "Oh, yes, thought Puddles. This could be fun." Puddles ran up the steps of the pulpit and balanced on the railings at the top. And then, with a swish of her tail, she slid down the railings and landed on her feet at the bottom. "Oh, Puddles," laughed Mrs. Cooper. "That's a funny way of cleaning the railings." But Puddles didn't hear. Thinking she might be in trouble, she ran to the back of the church. "Hello, Puddles," said Mrs. Jones. "Have you come to help me arrange the flowers?" "Oh, yes," thought Puddles. This could be fun. Puddles had noticed the ball of yellow ribbon lying next to the flowers, and with a swift flick of her paw, the yellow ribbon went rolling down the aisle of the church. Puddles chased after it as it wound around the pews. "Oh, Puddles," laughed Mrs. Jones, "what a pretty display you have made." But Puddles didn't hear. Thinking she might be in trouble, she scampered to the side of the church. "Hello, Puddles," said Mr. Morgan. "Have you come to help me practice the hymns?" "Oh, yes," thought Puddles. This could be fun. Just as Mr. Morgan started to play the organ, Puddles walked across the keyboard. Her furry tail turned the page of his music, and suddenly he was playing a different hymn. "Oh, Puddles," laughed Mr. Morgan, what a jolly new hymn you found. But what happened? She crept across to the bell tower. Hello, Puddles, said Mr. Williams. Have you come to help us ring the bells? Oh, yes, thought Puddles, this could be fun. Puddles had noticed the coloured ropes hanging down from the bells. Suddenly, Puddles leapt into the air and caught one of the ropes, and she swung back and forth, the big bell clanging loudly. Oh, Puddles, laughed Mr. Williams, that's an unusual sound. But Puddles didn't hear him because she might be in trouble. She slid down the rope and ran outside of the churchyard. Hello, Puddles, said Mr. Green. Have you come to help me cut the grass? Oh, yes, thought Puddles, this could be fun. Puddles stepped up from the lawnmower and the horse pressed the start button. Suddenly she raced round off the churchyard. Oh, Puddles, laughed Mr. Green, what a clever cat, you can cut the grass between the gravestones. But Puddles didn't hear, thinking she might be in trouble. She ran out of the churchyard back to the vicarage. Hello, Puddles, said Freddie. I hear you've been helping out at the church. Oh no, thought Puddles, no, I know I'm definitely in trouble. But Puddles didn't see that Freddie was smiling. The next day, people arrived at the church for the Sunday service. As they walked up the path of the churchyard, Puddles heard people say how lovely the bells sounded. They also noticed the neatly cut grass. And inside the church, people noticed it was lovely and clean, and everyone thought that the flower arrangements were beautiful. Reverend Freddie Fisher welcomed everyone to the service. Mr. Morgan played his brand new hymn, and the congregation sang along joyfully. And now it was time for Freddie's sermon, and after much thought, he had decided to talk about helping others. Lots of people help to make our church a special place, he said, and this week all of those people met Puddles. Oh no, thought Puddles as she stood at the back of the church wondering whatever Freddie was going to say next. Well, in her own way, Freddie said, Puddles helped everyone. She helped Mrs. Cooper clean the railings, she helped Mrs. Jones with the flowers, she helped Mr. Morgan learn a new hymn, she helped Mr. Williams play the big new bell, and she even cut some grass for Mr. Green. Then the Reverend Freddie Fisher read from the Bible about helping others. He said that everyone should try to help others in any way that they can. And lastly, he thanked Puddles for helping him think of something to talk about at his Sunday service. Puddles smiled. Helping others, she thought, what fun. Yeah. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so obviously from the children's point of view, it's a really nice, easy, all wrapped up in a story, insight into some of the features of the church, what might happen in the church, some of the people that help make the church a special place. And then really from, obviously that all of that is a hobby, but from a sort of teaching point of view, it's very much about Freddie reading from the Bible. And in each of the books, we either have Freddie or Miss Lewis, the Sunday school teacher, will read from the Bible. And that's your sort of teaching really, you know, that's the key concept, that's the key idea. So what's this about? So with Freddie reading from the Bible and saying that, you know, the Bible says to help everyone, you know, in a nutshell, that's what the Bible's about. So it's a book that tells people how they should live their lives. So in an easy way, we've actually got that big picture. So that's what the Bible is about. It's to try to tell people that they should help one another. And I talk about the big picture because I think there's a huge danger, and this is what I've observed, you know, within my sort of privileged position to be able to go and just listen in on lessons and classes and so on and see and talk to children, is that actually what we do, we tend to tell isolated Bible stories, and the children don't see the bigger picture. So it's different stories, like we were saying about in the beginning, and put it in that context of it actually is a story from the Bible, and where is it? You know, what we do if we're not careful is just tell different stories, and they don't see the Bible as a whole book. And I did a piece of research with Year 6 children, just asking them, what could they tell me about the Bible? Was one question. And each of them just gave just little bits of different information, but none of them had that overview of, it's a special book for Christians that tell them how they should live their lives. And it's as simple as that. But if we don't teach the children that, they're not going to come to it by their own understanding. So by telling different stories, we're just breaking it up and not putting in the context. So the idea is if you just start this off in foundation stage, what is the Bible? The Bible is a special book that Freddie might read from the pulpit and tell the people how they should live their lives. And we've got a special Bible, of course, and we've got our Bible that we've read to before. So we've got our special Bible that we talk about and use some of the stories, tell some of the stories in there. And we've got the grown-up Bible, and it's the same thing. And a lovely feedback from one of the teachers that was using this, and she said that now if she's going to tell a Bible story from Children's Bible, she always puts it in the context of, I wonder if this is a story that Freddie told last week in Sunday school or in at church, and that's quite a nice way of bringing it back. So it's the bigger picture really that we're looking for there. And as I said, I'll just briefly mention some of the others later, but we try to do that. Okay. But apart from that, obviously, as I said, it's really nice sort of insight into some of the church features and what happens in the church. And just wondering, how many of you ever set up a church role play area? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You have?
It was just because we did weddings, so
Okay.
at church.
Oh, lovely. And then you had your weddings, your role play within that. So that was nice. Yeah. Well, I say it was nice. Did it work?
Yeah, we loved it.
Yeah, great, lovely. Okay. So presumably you have role play areas anyway. So you'd have whatever topic you're doing, you'd have it as a vet's one time, or a hospital, or a garden centre, or whatever you do. But you never thought of having a church. Okay. Well, I've got some lovely footage. If we have a little look at this and see what you think. In your set of notes, there's a sheet. Not sure what page we've got to by now. There's a sheet which will give you an opportunity to think about what sort of resources you might need. If you were going to set up a role play area, what sort of props and resources might you have? Page 39 on that. And possible activities that could go on. And obviously, importantly, key learning. What skills are the children naturally developing, or what skills have you provided opportunity for them to develop? So the sort of 3 columns. So bear that in mind, and then I'll just share this lovely footage. As I said, it's a reception class, a school in